Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. The updated and expanded second edition of my book, The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments, is now available. Readers can expect to march with Arnie's Army at the 1960 U.S. Open, relive Jack Nicklaus's remarkable 1986 Masters win, and be amazed by the Tiger Slam. The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments. Pick it up where fine books are sold, including BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.com.
Thrive Suite Productions. And welcome back to another edition of This Day in Sports History. It's January 27th, and on this day in 1976, it was the world premiere of the dunk contest. It happened during the final ABA All-Star Game, which was being held that year in Denver's McNichols Arena. The idea of even having an All-Star Game seemed a bit odd, even to some ABA executives. At that point, the ABA only had 7 teams in a one-division league, so the idea became to have the team at the top of the standings play a group of All-Stars from the other 6. Fortunately for all concerned, the Denver Nuggets were the top team in the league at the break, so that helped a good bit to be the home team at the home arena. The idea of the dunk contest came from the league's public relations guy, Jim Bucata, who thought it would be a great showcase of the talent in the ABA and help fill up the 15,000-seat arena. And people responded. The dunk had become part of the identity of the league. Pre-game warm-ups around the league had become must-see entertainment. 5 competitors were chosen: the New York Nets' Julius Erving, Denver's David Thompson, San Antonio's Larry Keenan and George Gervin, and the Kentucky Colonel's Artis Gilmore. Dr. J suggested to the organizers that maybe they should add a white guy to the contest, but nobody could really think of a white guy in the league who could actually dunk. So it went on with those 5 guys. Now, the contest was a little more structured than what you might see today in a dunk contest. Each dunker had 2 minutes to complete 5 dunks in different areas of the court, standing under the basket, right, left, baseline, and taking flight somewhere in the lane. It was also held at halftime of the All-Star Game, so the guys who were competing had just played a half of basketball, so some legs had some fatigue, and of course they still had another half of basketball to play. But the league was running short on cash flow. All the competitors chosen for the contest were already there as All-Stars. Nobody was flown in to just compete in this contest, so the league certainly wasn't going to set it apart on another day. Now, even before the contest, most everybody expected for it to come down to Dr. J and then hometown hero David Thompson, who played for the Nuggets. And that's exactly what happened. Thompson got the locals out of their seats with some 360 magic, but it was Erving's takeoff from the free throw line for his final dunk that sealed the win for him. And just what did Dr. J get for winning the dunk contest? A $1,000 check and a new stereo system. By all accounts from people who were there, league executives, players who watched, and those who participated, the dunk contest was a hit. Sports Illustrated even called it the best halftime invention since the restroom. The ABA would blend with the NBA the next season and eventually brought with it the style and excitement that it was known for in its short history. Prior to the merger in 1977, the NBA was a big man-dominated, walk-it-up-the-court slow game. The ABA was a guard and power forward-dominated league that was fast-paced and had the added element of the three-point shot, something the NBA would finally adopt in 1979. But of course, the NBA would also showcase its most dazzling players during All-Star Weekend in the dunk contest, something that got its start on this day in 1976. Also on this day, in 1970, Arthur Ashe became the first black player to win a singles title at the Australian Open. He remains the only black man to win the Australian, Wimbledon, or the US Open. And in 1996, Monica Seles won the Australian Open, defeating Germany's Anke Huber in straight sets. It was the only Grand Slam event she won after she was stabbed during a match in 1993. That's all for today. Thanks for stopping by and giving this episode a listen. If you like the show and have a brief moment, How about leaving a 5-star review and a comment on Apple Podcasts? That would be greatly appreciated. Also, check out the show notes for other ways to help out the show. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with another This Day in Sports History.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, a.k.a. the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you got to do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you got to do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.